back here, what in the world does County Court at Law Number 2 do? Let me tell you about that. It's a court of general jurisdiction. That means it can hear any kind of civil case where the amount of controversy is $100,000 or less, and it handles all of those cases right now for Montgomery County. Also, County Court at Law 2 handles every single probate case from Montgomery County. So when someone dies, a will needs to be probated, an estate needs to be administered, guardian needs to be appointed perhaps. Every one of those cases comes to County Court at Law Number 2. Also, someone who's had their driver's license suspended for whatever reason, they need to get what's called an occupational or hardship driver's license. Every single one of those cases comes to County Court at Law Number 2. Also, we have 5 justices of the peace courts around the county. If someone appeals a case from one of those 5 JP courts, it comes to County Court at Law Number 2. Also, asset forfeitures are handled by this court. So when someone is arrested and convicted of some wrongdoing, maybe a drug case, whatever it may be, and they determine to have ill-gotten gains, an automobile, monetary assets, whatever, those cases, to seize those assets, all come before this court. But as I said, it's also a court of general jurisdiction. So you can also hear any family case in the county. Divorces, child support, child custody, those cases can all come before this court. Also, this court can hear any misdemeanor case, misdemeanor criminal cases, not felony criminal cases. So why is that important? On a routine basis, day in and day out, for going 11 years, I've handled every single one of those cases. If you look at my caseload right now, I have cases in every single one of those areas. I've got a case going to trial week after next. That's a hotly contested family case. Got a 3-day trial. I just finished recently a 9-day trial on a civil case where we had over 20,000 pages of documents in that case. So you need a judge with a depth and breadth of experience that can hit the ground running and knows how to cover all those bases. Okay, another thing I think that's very important, I always forget to say this. Has anyone heard about the recent case where there's a young man charged with a case where 5 people were killed in an automobile accident in Montgomery County? Some of you may have heard about that case. I just want to set the record straight. I have got, I don't know how many calls at my office and on the campaign trail. An attorney named Don Lambright defended that young man. Don Lambright is a criminal defense attorney that was hired out of Harris County, out of Houston. I don't know how many calls said, did I handle that case, or am I related to that? And they would tell my paralegal, if JB's related to the man that defended that case, I'm not going to vote for him. I just want to make sure you're aware, I'm absolutely no relation to Don Lambright. I'm JD Lambright. I've met him in the courtroom before, but we are no relation, so I want to set that straight. So that tells you a little about me. I want to save time to answer any questions you may have. I would just like to say I appreciate your consideration, and I'm asking for your vote. Early voting starts again on April the 5th and lasts through April the 9th, those 5 days. And then on April 13th is a runoff day. So with that, let me see if we have any questions. Yes, I don't know if somebody wants to pick and choose or give them a mic. Yeah, Scott?
I have 2 quick questions for you. As a director of the Montgomery County Dispute Resolution Center, how will you use that experience from the bench? And then quickly, the second question, what can you do to make the track record of a judge more available or more visible to voters next time around?
Okay, first the DRC, and that's mentioned on here. That's the Montgomery County Dispute Resolution Center. The DRC, as we commonly call it, handles about 800 cases on average a year. They handle mediations at a very low cost. They are all volunteers that handle mediations. I have been on the board of directors of the DRC for 10 years now, and I have been elected the general counsel of the DRC for 9, maybe 10 years now also. I'm a very strong advocate of mediation. It can resolve many cases, and if not the entire case, it can resolve maybe some of the issues in a case to narrow it for the judge or for a jury to decide. The nice thing about the DRC, it is a very low-cost alternative compared to private mediations. Most all of our courts right now on family cases require you to go to mediation before they will let you come to trial. and be that a civil case or a family case. So I'm a strong advocate of that entity. One thing we are having to do, as a member of the board, we are virtually running that office right now. Unfortunately, we had to terminate the executive director here a couple of months ago, and so our board is meeting every other week, and we are running the DRC right now. From everything I hear, they've noticed no change. It's just kind of putting a workload on us. In terms of the track record of the judge, of course, any case that gets appealed from any of our courts here in Montgomery County, they get appealed to Beaumont, the 9th District Court of Appeals. Certainly the public can come see the results of any kind of case, and I suspect as we continue to update in the district clerk's office, and that was a hotly contested race there, I think more and more of that information is going to be more readily available on an online basis, because it's all public information that anybody can come to the courthouse right now, but I think we're going to see more and more of that change so it can be more available online right from your own home. Okay.
Somebody over here.
Okay, you said that Shell paid for you to go to law school, right? Is that right? Shell.
Yeah, that's correct. Just so you understand it, Shell, as well as many other major oil companies, is a very general educational very generous educational reimbursement program.
Okay.
And what Shell does, I don't know if they still do, I suspect they do, any field that Shell Oil Company hires in, like for example, if I wanted to go to medical school, they wouldn't pay for that because Shell does not hire medical doctors, but they do hire lawyers and everything else. So yes, I paid for it, and then once you submit all your transcripts and everything, then Shell will reimburse me or any employee for that at any kind of level.
Okay, but then you decided to go into private practice. Is that?
That's correct.
Is that right?
Several years after I finished law school, I stayed on with Shell. And some people wonder, well, why didn't you go into legal at Shell? And very quickly, because I know the time is up here, I didn't do that because you're essentially like starting all over. You climb this corporate ladder, and your salary, your grade, everything, and then try to move over into legal. It just doesn't work very often, so that's why we do that. So then I opened my own law practice in 1999, like I say, right here in Conroe. Thank you very much. I see my time is up, and again, I would ask for your vote on the runoff day. Thank you very much.